As any basketball fan in Minnesota can tell you, talent and ability are not limited by geography. We'll have plenty of examples to support that theory tonight at Princeton High School, as the 4-2 Princeton Tigers host the 2-1 Bemidji Lumberjacks. We're looking forward to this non-conference Class 3A battle in the central part of the state. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Peden, all by myself, talking to myself. And a big reason we are looking forward to this matchup are the 1-2 combinations that highlight these sleeper teams. We'll start with the visitors, the Bemidji Lumberjacks, Katie Alto and Lindsey Hildenbrand. Katie Alto, a terrific start to the season, 24 points against Thief River Falls. She followed that up with 19 points against Hibbing, 9 against Grand Rapids, so she's averaging just over 17 points per game. Not a bad start. Lindsey Hildenbrand, not scoring as much, but she does have back-to-back double-digit games, 15 points against Hibbing and 13 points against Grand Rapids. Those two will hope to bring the Lumberjacks a win against a fellow 3A school. The Princeton Tigers have a 1-2 combination that is quite ferocious. You have a beacon of consistency in Lauren Bjurman, 12 points or more in each of the last 5 games. She was 1 rebound shy of her first double-double this season when she got 17 points and 9 rebounds against St. Cloud Apollo. Maddie James, the sophomore, a little more unpredictable as far as scoring. She has 2 20-point games, but she also has 2 games with 4 points or less. Those 20-point games came against Duluth East and Cambridge-Isanti. That being said, she can also scoop up rebounds at an impressive rate. She had 14 of them against St. Cloud Apollo, and that might have been why Bjurman didn't get that double-double, but that's okay. Maddie James, one of those young guns who should bring Princeton a lot of success over the next few years. Let's take a look at the starting 5 for the visiting Bemidji Lumberjacks. It's Ashley Hofstad, number 5, Katie Alto, number 10, Taylor Wade, number 20, Lindsey Hildenbrand, number 21, and Riley Jones, number 35. Princeton will start Tracy McGowan, number 11, Lauren Bjurman, number 22, Whitney Tennyson, number 25, Joanna Kostenschek, number 34, and Maddie James, number 44. Bemidji wearing the road whites, Princeton wearing the home blacks. Both teams above 500. Princeton hoping to start another win streak. They won their first 3 games of the year, then dropped 2 in a row. Bemidji missing the first shot. And Princeton coming off a big win over Delano, 70-29. Bemidji season. They started with 2 wins. Thief River Falls and Hibbing lost to Grand Rapids. So there is your tale of the tape as we are underway at Princeton High School. No one has scored yet. Princeton comes up with a steal. Maddie James chases down the ball. Bjurman thought about a 3. Instead goes inside. And it's Joanna Kostenschek with our first basket of the game. Bemidji looking for the high-low play. No space to work with, so they pass back out. Katie Alto pump fakes the baseline jumper, goes up, runner no good, and the rebound to Tracy McGowan. Princeton on the move. Bjurman can't finish the layup, and the rebound goes into the hands of Taylor Wade. And that will be a walk. Taylor Wade shuffled her feet. Two 2-0 in the early going. McGowan to James. Long skip, 3 on the way. Does not drop. Now Bemidji will try a 3. Taylor Wade had an opening, beat her defender. Now Maddie James on the fast break and the finish. Maddie James plays on a North Tartan AAU team with a lot of talent. We'll get to that in a moment. Princeton getting another defensive stop. They're on the run again. Bjurman unable to finish. Princeton with an early 4-0 lead. High-low play, and Bemidji can't put it in. Riley Jones had position. James, spin move, pulls up, no good. Another rebound for Taylor Wade. And Whitney Tennyson trying to time the pass, get the steal up front. She'll be hit with a foul instead. Maddie Kleingartner will sub in for the Tigers. So to finish up on that AAU team Maddie James is a part of, her teammates include Nia Holloway and Myra Moore-Johnny from Eden Prairie, Ronnie Porter and KK Asbury from Como Park, as Bemidji still looking for the first basket. And Metro fans know a thing or two about Asbury and Porter with what Como Park has done over the last few years. Also on that team, C.J. Adamson from Rochester Lord and Tiny Lewis from St. Cloud Cathedral. So a lot of players with a lot of potential. All could be names we hear about in the 2022 class as they make their way through the varsity ranks. Back to action here. It's still 4-0. Emily Wade coming in for the Lumberjacks. Princeton with the possession arrow. Maddie Kleingartner out to James. Bjurman at the top of the key. Bemidji times the pass, and scooping it up is Ashley Hofstad. 17-footer, swish! Riley Jones gets Bemidji on the board. Princeton tried to thread the needle, but not enough space. Bemidji with the steal. And a chance for a scoring play here. Maddie James hit with a foul as Ashley Hofstad tried to go baseline. Just the second foul on the Tigers, and Maddie James comes up with the steal. The bounce pass went right to her, and she knows what to do with it. She draws the foul and will shoot two. Maddie James loves to cook. Her dad got her into it when she was young, and she has kept at it. A nickname she got in 6th grade was Bigfoot, in reference to her larger than normal shoe size. Maddie James splits at the line. And Maddie James, no matter how big her shoes are, she carries a large presence for the Princeton Tigers, at least the first 6 games of the year. And driving her way in for two is Emily Wade. Princeton calls a timeout. It's 5-4 in the early going. So that gives us a chance to share a little more background. We'll stick with Princeton for now. Maddie James also takes part in choir and has plans to do a few more things. She feels her strengths are shooting, being able to create for herself, and get other people open shots. Lauren Bjurman, the most unusual thing about herself, she's really funny. I don't know what that means. But she's also involved in tennis, track, link, and the National Honor Society. And you get that a lot, even if you meet just one sport athletes like Maddie James. These students are involved in a lot of activities. So plenty of ways to stay active and not just in sports. Back to action, Princeton with a 5-4 lead. Side fade. No three-pointer for McGowan. Bemidji on the move. Mid-range J goes in for Lindsey Hildenbrand. And that gives Bemidji their first lead. Bemidji bringing the pressure. And they force the jump. They hold the arrow. Here's Emily Wade. Bemidji swings it around. Lindsey Hildenbrand passes up the three, drives instead. I think Maddie James got a piece of it. It's still Bemidji ball. Kitty Alto. Rejected by James. 15-footer. Swish. Joanna Kostenschek gives Princeton the lead once more. Entry pass, and drawing the foul is Riley Jones. Foul before the shot, so a side out for the Lumberjacks. Steve Schreiber, the head coach for Bemidji. Eric Jacobs, the head coach for Princeton. One of the assistants for Princeton is Maddie's father, Jesse James. And if the name Bjurman sounds familiar, well, Julia had more than 1,300 points in her high school career for the Tigers. Both teams trading possessions. Bemidji fires the three. Bullseye! Ashley Hofstad gets on the board. Outlet pass to Bjurman is good for two. And Bemidji will call a timeout. We are tied at 9. That is the first bucket for Lauren Bjurman. And with that timeout, let's talk a little bit about Bemidji. Eight-letter winners returning. Steve Schreiber said, our girls have set our expectations high this season after a 16-10 mark a year ago. 5 seniors that have been successful their entire basketball career return. They are hungry to get to the next level. They'll be supplemented by a strong junior class. Alexandria the favorite in their group, but as we know in this sport, there are no guarantees. We're tied at 9. Bemidji looking to break it, but a traveling violation on Emily Wade, who shoveled her feet. Princeton in a little bit of trouble. Maddie James with the bounce pass. Kostenschek blocked by Jones. 14-footer, short. Rebound to Kostenschek. Still in the first half. James, the skip. James has it again, fires the three. Too strong, high carom. Goes to Maddie Kleingartner, and it will stay Princeton ball. Bemidji getting a couple of subs in. Kitty Alto back out there alongside Taylor Wade. James inside. Will they give her the shooting motion? It appears they will. Second team foul on the Lumberjacks. Maddie James split her last time up. Maddie James really enjoys the relationships she has built through the sport of basketball, both in the high school and AAU circuit. She knocks down both free throws to give Princeton an 11-9 lead, but that doesn't last long. Riley Jones with the layup. James, backdoor. Ooh, Kostenchek I thought she had an opening. Instead, she tries to put a move on Jones, and it doesn't work out. It looked like she had an opening if she went up right away. Now Bemidji with a chance to score on the high-low play, and Riley Jones cashes in. Riley Jones has 6 points as she looks to find a rhythm in the early going. Can't complete the three-point play, but the rebound tips right to her, so Bemidji could do a little more here. Kostenchek with the rebound. 13-11 our score. James from 15. Can't bank it in. And Emily Wade draws the foul on the way up. Some more free throws coming for the Lumberjacks. Emily Wade in the early part of the season as she misses the front end. Hasn't been too active. Did not score against Hibbing, just 5 points against Grand Rapids. So Emily Wade still looking to find her footing as she splits at the line. That gives Bemidji a 3-point lead. Kostenchek, I believe she was pushed. Both teams making substitutions during that stoppage. Kostenchek draws the foul. So Kostenchek will get to shoot a couple. Joanna Kostenchek missing the front end. So far, her highlights: 8 points over Cambridge Isandi, 11 against Delano. Missed the first few games of the season. She splits at the line. And another foul. Nope, travel. Maddie Kleingartner lost her footing. And more subs coming in. This is Beth Bolte, number 23. For Bemidji, that is. High-low play, but 3 Princeton jerseys surrounding Bolte, and a steal for the Tigers. Maddie James Used up the dribble, needs help. Goes out to test Jungroth. Back to James. The long skip. And James is fouled. Hofstad picks up her first personal foul. Caitlin Sauter out there for the Princeton Tigers, number 5. Jungroth out to Kleingartner. Princeton in a little bit of trouble. Now James thought about it. Instead goes to Jungroth for a reset. And that pays off. The reset sets up Kleingartner down low, and the high-low play nets Princeton a bucket. Lauren Bjurman will give Maddie James a breather. Three ball. No good. Jungroth. Out to Kleingartner. Bjurman. Back to Jungroth. Kostenchek to Bjurman. Princeton taking their time here. Bjurman sees a lane, attacks, too strong. And the rebound to Beth Bolte. And a foul on the Tigers. That is the last foul to give for the Tigers in the first half. Three on the way. It does not fall for Hildenbrand, and the rebound to Princeton. Bjurman picks up the outlet pass, and Princeton struggling to finish those transition plays in the first half here. And an offensive foul on Bemidji. Lindsey Hildenbrand lost control of it and barreled into her defender. And now we'll have a discussion with the officials. They talk to the scores table. And it is confirmed. Foul on Hildenbrand. That is her second, and Bemidji now out of fouls to give. Something to keep an eye on with a 14-14 score in the first half. Now, of course, we have a long way to go, but not what you want for Steve Schreiber. Bemidji does get the steal. They can't cash in from three-point range. Here's Caitlin Sauter. Princeton throws it away. Wade. The skip. Wade has it again. Emily Wade, that is. Ball deflected. It will stay with Bemidji. Bemidji in the northern part of the state. Princeton in the central part of the state. Three on the way. Emily Wade can't knock it down, but she gets her own miss. And another try for the Lumberjacks. Princeton stole it back, but they throw it away. We've got a little hot potato going on here. And a foul. Free throws coming for Bemidji. This is Jackie Johnson, number 13. Not to be confused with a Jackie Johnson from Eden Prairie who would play Division I basketball for a time at Minnesota, Jackie Johnson, the sophomore. Not a whole lot of data, just 5 points in the loss to Grand Rapids. Johnson splits at the line. Bemidji struggling from the line in the early going. Just 2 of 5. Princeton a little bit of trouble bringing the ball up court, and that results in a turnover. Bemidji with a 1-point lead. The bounce pass ricochets into Kostenchek's hands. Here's Bjurman through her defender. That would have been a beauty, but Kostenchek there for the offensive rebound. Now Bjurman has it. Some hustle plays on the part of Princeton, but Bjurman unable to finish. She had 2 good looks. Bemidji scores on the other end. That's Katie Alto with her first basket. A 4-point swing, perhaps, just inside the line, and switching the 2, Maddie Kleingartner. Some coaches call it the most frustrating shot because a few more inches you could have had an extra point, but as long as it goes in, right? 3 on the way for Bemidji, pure. Jackie Johnson with her first field goal. And Princeton fouled. 1-and-1 time for Tracy McGowan, number 11. Maddie James going back in. Tracy McGowan doing quite well, coming off a 14-point effort against St. Cloud Apollo. McGowan gets on the board. Back-to-back double-digit games, actually. As McGowan knocks down both free throws. And Princeton gets the ball back. Or at least try to. Instead, they get hit with a foul. And that will mean free throws for Bemidji since they are in the bonus. Princeton 6 of 8 in the early going. Bemidji 2 of 5 at the stripe. 1-and-1 situation here for Bemidji. And an empty possession as Taylor Wade unable to knock down the front end. Maddie James for 3. Off the heel. Kleingartner with the rebound. James, long 2. No good. It looked like she didn't have the best grip there. Lost her handle for a moment. Got it back. But based on what we have seen out of Maddie James, as far as the stat line is concerned, I'm sure she'll shrug it off. Princeton does have a little bit of history. Their all-time leading scorer is Katie Loberg, who would play Division I basketball at Minnesota. Part of the 2009 class. That class had a lot of height because you had Katie Loberg at 6'4", and Amber Dvorak at 6'7" out of Hinckley Finlayson. I stand at 5'11", so just bringing up that story makes me feel short. Bemidji ball. Bjurman and James not quite as tall. Bjurman at 6 feet, Maddie James at 5'11". Bemidji with the ball, 2-point lead. And the Lumberjacks draw a foul, so back to the free throw line they go. Maddie James picks up her second personal foul. Another empty possession. Hofstad blanks at the free throw line. But Bemidji picks up the ball. Side fade for Jackie Johnson. She goes inside. Layup too strong. Pass is tipped. Stolen by the Lumberjacks. All alone. Katie Alto with the finish. Bemidji will take that. They lead by 4. James on the left wing. Feeds it to Whitney Tennyson. There's Caitlin Souter, number 5. McGowan looking for a lane. That's a tough shot, but it was deflected by Bemidji. James finds Tennyson. James off the handoff from Tennyson, drives and scores. James up to 7 points. Bemidji looking for a little razzle-dazzle there. They still have the rock. The kick out, 3 on the way. Short from Ashley Hofstad. Pass almost stolen instead. That sets up an open 3. Princeton can't knock it down. They get another try. That doesn't go either. And that goes over the backboard. So a dead ball rebound to the Lumberjacks. A couple of 3-point chances there. Maddie James stayed up on her assignment. Bemidji couldn't get much out of it there. They still lead by 2, 22-20. James, the runner, in and out. Rebound Emily Wade. Back and forth this game goes between 2 sleeper teams. 3 on the way, short. And the rebound will stay with Bemidji. 2 sleeper teams, Bemidji and Independent School. You get that a lot when you go to the northern part of the state. Bemidji, Grand Rapids, Moorhead come to mind because you don't have a lot of teams nearby. And an independent schedule also allows you to set the schedule you want. Whitney Tennyson, I thought she pulled up a little too soon, but Princeton still has it. Haley Lupkis can't knock down the 3. And a kick ball. Now, for teams like Bemidji and Grand Rapids, you will have one game against section opponents, so that does play a factor into the season, but you can set the rivalries you want. 3 from the corner, does not fall for Emily Wade. But there on the other side for the putback is Ashley Hofstad. Hofstad up to 5 points. Souter at the top of the key. To Kostencheck. Souter again. Out to Haley Lupkis. Pass is stolen by Bemidji. Runner. No good. Almost went in. Lupkis with the rebound. We've got a giant pizza slice out in the student section. Good recovery by Kostencheck, but you can't put it down after McGowan's initial shot was long, but Princeton comes up with the steal. James. That's not James. I take that back. That was Souter. Looks a little like James from this vantage point. So still a 4-point game. Princeton, a little bit of trouble on the inbound. Souter to Whitney Tennyson. Looking for help. Finds Lupkis. And another turnover on the Tigers. We've had a lot of turnovers in this game. Here comes Tess Jungroth. 24-20 our score. And another steal. Well, steals are going to be piling up in this one. McGowan's layup is short. And at this point, I'm just trying to keep up. Kostenschek, her shot went in and out, but she gets the rebound, draws a foul, and will shoot two. And it will give everyone a chance to catch our breath. Kostenschek, since she joined the lineup, she knocks down the front end. 8 points against Cambridge Isanti, 11 against Delano. She shot well in those games. 500 or better. And Princeton shooting well at the free throw line. They're 8 of 10. That makes it a 2-point game again, 24-22. It has been a slog. It will stay Bemidji ball. That's Beth Bolte out there. But it has been a slog. A lot of turnovers in this first half. I'll tell you this much. I could go for some pizza. Bemidji throws it away. Student section getting into it. Bemidji, well, there's another example. Whose ball is that going to be? Bemidji's. Both teams doing a great job, terrific at getting steals. It's hanging on to the ball, making use of transition opportunities that has proven problematic in the early going. Will that count? Yes, it does. Katie Alto beats the buzzer just barely. So Katie Alto gives us a dash of excitement to end the first half. And what a first half it was. A lot of steals, a lot of turnovers. So both teams struggling to find their offense. But that bucket by Katie Alto, if it counts. And it appears it will. That gives the Lumberjacks a 26-22 lead as we enter intermission. We'll come back and go over first half numbers. This is high school girls basketball. Bemidji leads Princeton 26-22. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Mike Beaton back with you. Bemidji leads Princeton 26-22 thanks in part to Katie Alto's buzzer beater layup, and it just barely beat the first half buzzer, but the basket counted, and that helped her get 6 points in the first half. Riley Jones also has 6 points. Those are your notables for the Lumberjacks. Ashley Hofstad has 5. Joanna Kostenchek and Maddie James both have 7 points to lead the Tigers, but the first half was defined by a lot of turnovers, some missed buckets down low. Whoever can find their footing in the second half may have the advantage here, as the second half is about to get underway. So we switch sides. Let's see who wins this non-conference matchup in Class 3A. Both teams with 4 timeouts left. Maddie James, turnaround. She really struggled to hit her shots in the first half. Both starters back out on the floor. Maddie James, bounce pass to Kostenchek, and it's intercepted. Hofstad missed the runner, but kicks it out to Lindsey Hildenbrand. She can't hit the 3. James is blocked by Kostenchek. It stays Bemidji ball. They pump fake the 3. The layup is good. Beating Kostenchek was Lindsey Hildenbrand. And Bemidji with their largest lead of the game. It's crazy to think that neither side built much of an edge, but with both teams struggling to control the ball, and Princeton in particular having a hard time finishing down low, that doesn't create a lot of opportunities to build a run. Riley Jones adds to Bemidji's lead. She draws the foul and will shoot a chance for a 3-point play. Shoot for a chance at 3. But free throws were not in Bemidji's favor in the first half, just 2 of 7. And they continue to plague the Lumberjacks. Jones does go up to 8, though. And the Lumberjacks now lead by 8. But not for long. Whitney Tennyson drills the corner 3. And Princeton comes up with the steal. Bjurman with the lane. No good. Tennyson is fouled. She misses the front end. Her season high to this point, 9 points, and the win over Delano. And Kostenchek, or I should say Tennyson, comes up empty at the free throw line. Tennyson with the steal. The entry pass a little too strong. Tennyson draws the foul well before the shot. It will go against Hofstad. And Hofstad will go out. Emily Wade, who played a lot of minutes in the first half, will go back in. 30-25 our score. Maddie James got the pass in traffic. And McGowan scored a layup. That took me by surprise, but it's a three-point game. Jones gets the friendly bounce. And Jones is our first player to reach double digits in scoring. James tried to sidearm it to Bjurman, and that didn't work out. James tried to set herself up for the charge, but may have shoveled her feet at the last moment, and instead she'll be hit with a foul. Side out here for the Lumberjacks, who lead by 5, 32-27. Wade, the fade away, no good. And the rebound to McGowan. Tennyson for three. Off the heel. Bemidji staying with it, attacking the glass thanks to Riley Jones. She got bumped from behind, and she'll shoot two. Riley Jones, however, has struggled at the line. And Princeton racking up some quick fouls here. Riley Jones gets the front end to drop. And that's all she can do in this case. 3 of 10 the Lumberjacks are at the free throw line. James to Tennyson. Bjurman in the left corner. James has it again. Trying to get a move on her defender. That will stay with Princeton. Riley Jones, we should point out, coming off a 16-point effort in the win over Hibbing. Did not score against Grand Rapids. Princeton ball. They trail by 6. And they lose the ball. Bemidji swings it back out. Now they attack. Shot was blocked. It will stay with Bemidji. And for the first time this game, we see Emma Huberty for the Lumberjacks. She wears number 33. And Bemidji had a wide open lane. Lindsey Hildenbrand knew what to do with it. James finds her target. 3-ball, corner pocket. Haley Lupkiss gets on the board. Hildenbrand with the answer. Off the heel, no good. And the rebound by James, and she's fouled almost instantly. Emily Wade hit with a foul there. And with her at 3, she'll go out. Jackie Johnson, who has 4 points thus far, will go in. Tennyson to McGowan. Lupkis looking for an option. Maddie James, deep three, pure! Maddie James with her first bucket of the second half, and it's a 2-point game. And then she follows up with a block. It looked like Bemidji had an easy bucket on the other end. Instead, we'll have free throws for Princeton. And Lauren Bjurman. Bjurman, just 2 points in the first half. Wasn't much of a factor. Had a lot of chances to score down low, just couldn't finish. Ashley Hofstad and Beth Holte checking in for the Lumberjacks. Bjurman will settle for a split. That makes it a 1-point game. Bemidji with the steal and the layup. Ran past the camera. It looked like that was Taylor Wade. Bjurman drives, can't get the bounce. But there for the recovery is Tess Jungroth. That makes it a 1-point game again, and Bjurman fouls. Number 21, Hildenbrand, on the way to the bucket. So Hildenbrand to shoot 2. Hildenbrand knocks down the front end. Lindsey Hildenbrand knocks down both free throws to push the Bemidji lead back to 3. A 3-sport athlete. Hildenbrand also plays soccer and track. Also takes part in the Link Leader Program, National Honor Society, and the Calvary Lutheran Youth Group. Maddie James, another deep 3. Bullseye! Maddie James starting to heat up from 3-point range. And we're tied at 39. Riley Jones turns a nearly broken play into a pair of points. And Jones up to 13. Starting to turn it on in the second half. Bjurman thought about it. Now attacks the rim. And Riley Jones wasn't fooled one bit. Bemidji tried the kick out. That didn't work out, so they'll look to run another set here. Another entry pass for Jones. That wasn't a clean one, so she'll pass back out. Princeton makes a couple of swipes. They come up with a steal. This is Bjurman, who will take it all the way. Lauren Bjurman needed a play to go in her favor, and that steal and run out just might be the ticket. Bemidji on the other end, a little razzle-dazzle. Taylor Wade with a couple of nifty layups. Here's Maddie James. Finds Bjurman for 3, and that's off the mark. 43-41. Bemidji over Princeton. Bemidji started the season with 2 wins before losing to Grand Rapids. Princeton started their season with 3 wins before losing 2 in a row. 3 ball. Corner pocket. Jackie Johnson with her second triple. Bemidji 16-10 a year ago. And we have a timeout called by the Tigers, who finished 15-12 a year ago. So Princeton with 3 timeouts remaining. And it's Bemidji with a 46-41 lead. And we'd like to use this timeout to remind you that if you want to support TSB Television sports programming, we have several ways for you to do so. Patreon.com/TSB Television, PayPal.me/TSB Television, or Cash App simply TSB Television. We cover a lot of sports in the state of Minnesota, and we'd love to have you on board. Let's talk a little more about this Bemidji team. Lindsey Hildenbrand, who we spoke of a while ago, Steve Schreiber says the natural talent to be a great basketball player. Started out as a freshman in our chaos unit. Had a couple of games where they can look back and say she won it. Developed as a sophomore. Her junior year, they expected her to be more consistent, and she was. She became the top scoring threat. One of the highlights in that junior season was a game-winning deep three-pointer against Hermantown. The moment never looked too big for Lindsey, and we fully expect her to take another big step forward this upcoming season. Hildenbrand also enjoys singing at church and going on mission trips with the Calvary Lutheran Youth Group. Now you don't have to look that up because we already did. Back to action in the second half. Maddie James, another deep 3. She's feeling it. Maddie James with her 3rd triple of the second half. She has 9 points in the second half, 16 overall. And fluidity now coming into both offenses here. Bemidji still leads by 2, 46-44. Bemidji an independent school, Princeton in the Mississippi 8. And a jump ball. Sometimes all it takes are a few shots to go in to find the momentum. Jones in a little bit of trouble. James comes up with it. McGowan thought about a 3, sees a lane, can't get the bounce. Right idea, and then the double whammy. Missed the layup and get hit with a foul. That will go against Jungroth. Bemidji leads by 2. They've held the slight edge throughout this game, and they'll push it back to 5 on another three-pointer by Jackie Johnson, her 3rd triple. So Maddie James and Jackie Johnson. Uh-oh. Had that gone in, I would have gone home. Heat check perhaps for Maddie James there. Johnson, she thought about it. Johnson up to 10 points with that last triple. High-low play for Jones. James read the pass and comes up with a steal. McGowan, one-on-one. Goes up. Can't drain the runner. Lumberjacks lead by 5. Johnson steps into a 3. Can't hit. Another rebound for Maddie James. But she's in a little bit of trouble. And a near steal there by the Lumberjacks. Jackie Johnson a split second late on the timing. Bjurman to James. Out to Souter. Now Bjurman has it at the right corner. Bemidji leads by 5. Bjurman kicks out. 3 on the way for Jungroth. Off the rim, no good. Riley Jones with the board. Another entry feed intercepted by James. Maddie James coming up with some steals here. He's doing it all right now for Princeton in the second half. Knocking down threes, coming up with some clutch plays on defense. And Tracy McGowan gets a friendly bounce to complete the runner. McGowan up to 6 points, and it's a one-possession game again, 49-46. Kitty Alto in a jam, gets herself out of it. Princeton bringing pressure up top. Taylor Wade out to Alto. And almost another steal for James. But she gets fouled by Riley Jones, and that may have been a smart foul on the part of Jones, because it denies James a chance to run the floor. And with the way Maddie James has defended her as of late, yes, you get hit with a foul, but you stop Princeton from a potential fast break opportunity. It is Princeton ball. Jungroth worked away inside, got nothing for it, and then Bjurman commits a foul on the rebound. Lauren Bjurman picks up her 4th personal foul. And that is the last foul to give for the Tigers. Bjurman will have to ride the bench for a while, and she'll have to be careful with those 4 fouls. Princeton out of fouls to give. Bemidji with 1 left to give. Emily Wade sees a lane, goes for the reverse. Can't get the bounce. Gets her own rebound. Here's Hildenbrand. Squeezes through the hole, comes up short as well. And then a foul. Emily Wade with a couple of offensive rebounds, and she'll have a chance to score some points at the line. Bemidji in the boneless the rest of the way. Bemidji, they've left a lot of points at the free throw line. And Wade blanks on both. Bemidji 5 of 14. That keeps it a 3-point game. Costin check, no good. Loose ball. And we've got a player down. Play can't stop until Princeton gets the ball. It looks like Tess Jungroth, the player who was injured. So we have a stoppage here in the second half, with Bemidji leading 49-46 over Princeton. This is the front end of a road back-to-back series as Jungroth gets up but walks off gingerly. To finish up on Bemidji, this is the front end of a back-to-back road stretch for the Lumberjacks. They travel to Orono tomorrow. And some other Metro teams on the schedule include St. Anthony Village. They'll get another shot at Grand Rapids in January. Princeton ball. This is McGowan. Runner is short. And it will be Bemidji ball. The Becker series will be one to watch on the part of Princeton, and that was a play worth watching. So Bemidji goes back up by 5 following the score from Taylor Wade. And they are looking for more, but ran out of real estate there, couldn't get the steal. McGowan, bounce pass to Kostenchek. Off balance runner, no good. Emily Wade scoops up the board. Bemidji looking to run the floor, now they kick back out. Hildenbrand to Katie Alto. Back to Hildenbrand. Hildenbrand is fouled, and remember, Bemidji in the bonus here. Hildenbrand with 8 points, looking to add to it, but the free throw struggles for Bemidji have hampered their ability to pull away. 5 of 14. That's a lot of points left at the line. And Maddie James jumped the gun, it looks like, so we'll have a do-over here. Can't enter the lane until the ball is released. So we'll try again. Same result. And Maddie James comes up with the rebound. James sees a lane, but her layup is a little soft. Hildenbrand to Katie Alto. Kleingartner got in there for the steal, and Bjurman back in the game. Has to be careful with those 4 fouls. She got fouled from behind by Alto. Just the first foul on Alto, but that is the last foul to give for Bemidji. So we can see a lot of free throws in this one. McGowan wants to see a 3 go down. Jump ball. Princeton with the arrow. I was going to say a little while ago, the Becker series will be worth watching on the part of Princeton with Becker in the conference and the tremendous season they had a year ago. Bjurman draws a foul, and she'll shoot 2. Big Lake was picked as the sleeper team in the Mississippi 8 in the preseason. Bjurman with just 5 points. Let's see if she can add 2 more. Bjurman, the 3-sport athlete. Tennis, track and field, and basketball. And Bjurman converts on the free throws. 51-48. Princeton with the steal. It's Bjurman. Sees a lane, too strong. And Whitney Tennyson went up perhaps a little too quickly. Now Bemidji with numbers. They can't finish in transition. A couple of big misses. No harm, no foul, I guess. But with the game as close as this, that's a big chance to make a statement. Another layup doesn't drop. Now a 3 for Bemidji. Bullseye! Lindsey Hildenbrand. That makes it a 6-point game again, but Bjurman with a quick response on the other end. Lauren Bjurman making some plays in the last couple of possessions here. Hildenbrand. To Alto. Skip pass, another 3. This time it's too strong for Bemidji. Whitney Tennyson with the rebound. James, almost a travel there, but Tennyson does fire the 3, and it's short. Katie Alto with the board. Outlet pass stolen by James. She steps into a 3. Bullseye! Maddie James with her 4th triple of the second half. She has 19 points now. Timeout, Bemidji. And just like that, there is a sense of electricity emanating from the Princeton fan base as they trail by 1, 54-53. Let's finish up on some of our biography research. In particular, Katie Alto. She will play soccer next season for Concordia St. Paul. And Steve Schreiber says, one of the hardest working players I've had the privilege to work with in my 11 years of coaching. The last one in the gym every night. Nothing seems to distract her from being the best that she can be, which is quite impressive for a soccer player. Also took part in track until her junior season. Soccer and softball, the other sports. Well, soccer, I guess, was obvious with the college commitment. She got both of her front teeth knocked out, one from playing soccer, the other from playing basketball, so I hope she invests in a mouth guard when she suits up for the Division II school located in St. Paul. I've had the pleasure of covering some soccer and football games at Seafoam Stadium. It's a fine facility in the Midway area of St. Paul. Some more notes on Alto. Another member of the Chaos unit. Improved a lot as a junior. And they expect her to be one of the leaders on both ends of the floor this season. Alto herself has said Bemidji doesn't have much height, but they do have speed. They do have some height with Riley Jones. But right now, they've got to fend off a hard-charging Princeton team. Bjurman with the steal on the run-out. And Princeton retakes the lead for the first time in quite some time. 55-54. Both teams out of fouls to give. 3-ball, corner pocket. Katie Alto gives the Lumberjacks a much-needed triple. McGowan, the runner. Short. Hildenbrand with the rebound. The largest lead for either side has been 8. Maddie James looking for the steal from behind. Tries again. Got to be careful, though. And that's why. Although that does send Jones back to the line, she has struggled from the charity stripe. And now Maddie James sitting at 4 fouls. Another empty possession for the Lumberjacks. 5 of 16 at the free throw line. Bemidji will be in the double bonus the rest of the way. James tried to hook up with Bjurman. Princeton saves it. Tennyson for 3. This place would have erupted had that gone in. And another foul on the Tigers. 2 free throws now for the Lumberjacks. Tennyson with their second personal foul. Hildenbrand with 11 points in this neck-and-neck game. And one reason why this game is so close, all the misses at the free throw line from Bemidji. Those missed points, they sting, especially in a losing effort, which Bemidji is trying to avoid. Timeout Princeton. Hildenbrand gets the back end. So a 3-point game, 58-55 in the closing stages of the second half. Both teams in the bonus. Both teams with 3 timeouts. Bemidji in the double bonus. Princeton, they would get a 1-and-1 if they are fouled, and Bemidji holds the arrow should we have a tie-up. So that is the situation we are looking at here. Maddie James with 4 triples in the second half. She has 19 points overall. Riley Jones had a strong start to the second half. She has cooled off, but a lot of misses at the free throw line. She has 13 points. Hildenbrand with 12. Jackie Johnson with 10. Katie Alto with 9. So Bemidji spreading the ball around. For Princeton, Maddie James has stepped up in the second frame. Lauren Bjurman, her production limited due to foul trouble. She picked up her 4th foul a few minutes ago. And Kostenschek has not scored in the second half. So those are some of the trends that have emerged between the first frame and the second frame in this tight game with 2 sleeper teams. Bemidji, the independent school, Princeton in the Mississippi 8. They've got to contend with the likes of Becker now. Big Lake, another school, as we noted, expected to have a strong year. So a 3 will tie it for the Tigers. Maddie James, she's been hot, fires the 3, bullseye! Twin Cities sports broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot. It goes in.
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Maddie James, with her 5th triple of the second half, beats the buzzer. And much like Katie Alto gave Bemidji a boost, Maddie James doing the same for Princeton to force overtime. We're tied at 58. As you know, fouls carry over. Both teams get an additional timeout. So plenty of timeouts available for both teams. But Princeton has to be careful. They've got Bjurman and James at 4 fouls. Maddie James, nice find to Tracy McGowan, but she can't bank it in. Maddie James with 22 points. And we'll play overtimes until there's a winner. You know how it goes, 4 minutes per session. Bjurman with the block. Lindsey Hildenbrand saw an opening. Bjurman shut the door in a hurry. Gutsy move by Bjurman again. Bjurman and James, they have to play clean defense here. They can't be sloppy because they both sit with 4 fouls. Riley Jones scores, and that is an example of Lauren Bjurman. She was limited. So Bemidji takes the lead again. James finds some help. She'll pick up the dime. And Kleingartner will get her first basket since the first half. Pass is stolen by Bjurman. We're tied at 60. "17-footer is short. High-low play for Riley Jones. And Riley Jones is heating back up. Bjurman puts a move on her defender and scores the layup. Back and forth, tit for tat. A photo finish between two 3A schools. By the way, that last 3 for James gives her her 3rd 20-point game of the season. Bemidji looking to push the lead back to 3. Now Princeton has a chance to take advantage. Oh! Well, Bemidji caught a break there. I thought Tennyson shuffled her feet. 3 ball. Nothing doing. Rebound. No putback. But Hofstad staying with it. Still nothing to show for it. James. Outlet pass to Bjurman, intercepted. Maddie James this time picks up the charge. Got herself set up in plenty of time, and that's one perk defensively. If your outlet pass is intercepted, you don't have to rush back on defense. Hildenbrand hit with a foul. No free throws, of course. It's a team control foul, but a huge momentum swing perhaps for the Tigers. But Maddie James loses control and coughs it up. So we remain tied at 62. 3 on the way. Bullseye! Jackie Johnson with her 4th triple. And Princeton calls a timeout.
When the high school season is over, TSP Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
So Princeton finds themselves in the same situation as they did in the final minute of regulation, down by 3. Maddie James stepped up with a three-pointer to force overtime in a game that Bemidji has led throughout for the most part. Princeton has taken the lead on occasion. So here we are, 65-62. Maddie James. Ball poked away. It will stay with Princeton. Tigers at 4-2, trying to start a new win streak. Bemidji at 2-1, looking to pick up a hard-fought win. Bjurman in trouble. And Princeton will call another timeout. 65-62 the score.
When the high school season is over, TSP Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
No matter where you go in the state of Minnesota, the Cha-Cha Slide, always a keeper when it comes to audience participation. And Princeton hoping to participate a little bit longer in this one. They trail by 3, using a couple of timeouts here. Jackie Johnson hit a 3 to give Bemidji a 3-point lead. Loose ball. Bemidji comes up with it. Or did they? We're going to have a discussion. And the call overturned. It will be Princeton ball. Tigers trail by 3. James, deep 3. Loose ball. We have one official signaling jump ball, another signaling timeout. And the timeout is granted to Princeton. One perk of saving all those timeouts for the later stages, so Princeton will get another chance here. They still trail by 3, but a three-pointer would tie it up. Again, both teams in the bonus as we take a look at the game summary. Maddie James with 22 points, her third 20-point game this season. Lauren Bjurman with 13, so her streak of 12 or more over the last 5, now 6 games will continue. But not getting a lot of support elsewhere. Kostenchek has not scored since the first half. Kleingartner just 1 bucket. And for Bemidji, Riley Jones had a couple of layups in the overtime session. She's up to 17 points. Hildenbrand with 12. Jackie Johnson with 13 points after her last three-pointer. So Princeton with another lifeline. Can they cash in? McGowan to James. James has 5 three-pointers already. Looking for a 6th. Bullseye! Maddie James coming up clutch. And we're headed to a second overtime. How many more tricks does Maddie James have up her sleeve? She has bailed out her Tigers on 2 occasions in the closing seconds of regulation and now the closing seconds of overtime. So we're going to do this again. Double overtime we go. 65-65 the score. Maddie James, 25 points. So for the sophomore, she has a new season high with that last three-pointer. Where has Maddie James come from? Struggled a bit in the first half. Not so in the second half. 6 3-pointers. And Princeton has needed every last one of them as they try to go on another win streak. Looking ahead, Princeton will get Monticello a week from now and then Cloquet in a back-to-back session. And as we talked about before, Big Lake and Becker, the two teams to watch in the Mississippi 8. Oh my goodness. So Princeton gets another timeout. Bemidji gets another timeout. As we noted before, fouls carry over. So the Lumberjacks will have quite a few in their pocket in the second overtime frame. But remember, Bjurman and James still have to play with 4 fouls. So that is the one downside to overtime. Of course, Maddie James doesn't care right now with an amazing display of resilience and grit and range, we should point out. This is just a sophomore. New season high. James is coming off a 19-point effort against Delano where she hit 4 3-pointers, so this isn't entirely unprecedented. Both teams trading punches. Maddie James, another 3. Not that time. When you hit 6 since the start of the second half, though, you're feeling it. And Lindsey Hildenbrand is feeling it. She saw a lane and took it home. Hildenbrand up to 14 points. But as we've seen before, Bemidji would make a move, Princeton would counter. Princeton comes up with a steal that time. I should say Bemidji. A chance to go up big. Katie Alto missed the 3. Maddie James with the rebound. This could leave Bemidji a little winded. Remember, this is the front end of a back-to-back. Maddie James lays it in. Riley Jones blocked by Bjurman. How about that last basket by Maddie James? Leaned forward and got the layup. She'll take a breather. No, that's Kostencheck. Maddie James staying out there. 20 points since the start of the second half. And what she has done to keep her team in this is commendable. Hildenbrand can't knock down the jumper. Maddie James with another rebound. Spin move, the kick out. 3 on the way. Off the heel. Offensive rebound McGowan, but she lost it. Another rejection. Princeton showing no fear down low at the other end. And remember, Bemidji in the double bonus, but going back to that, they are 6 of 18 at the free throw line. They make a few more. They'd be on the bus heading over to Orono right now. But they're not giving up. Katie Alto scores off the inbound. So Alto goes up to 11. Princeton, 4 players now in double digits. Maddie James, turnaround. She'll shoot 2. Maddie James, 3 of 4, hasn't been to the line since the first half. And the cooking enthusiast who once had the nickname Bigfoot, trying to keep her team in this. Maddie James splits at the line. And she'll head to the bench to collect herself. She has been playing a lot of time out there. Still a 1-point game. Princeton forcing the turnover. And that was a really short breather. That may have been a defense to offense substitution on the part of Princeton. Trying to preserve Maddie James and remember Lauren Bjurman as well. They both have 4 fouls. So a stoppage in play gives Princeton the chance to get them out of there and save them on the offensive end. Maddie James with the dish, but McGowan can't hit the 3. 2 Princeton players collide. And it will be Princeton ball following a few ricochets. Lauren Bjurman needs a minute to catch herself. Now Bemidji making some quick substitutions here in this second overtime. The Lumberjacks with a 69-68 lead. Maddie James hitting 2 3-pointers at the end of regulation and the first overtime to keep Princeton in this game. And James is fouled by Ashley Hofstad. So to the line, Maddie James will go. Hofstad picks up her 4th. Maddie James to shoot 2 here. Princeton in the double bonus now. Maddie James makes both. Princeton takes the lead, 70-69. And Maddie James has her first 30-point game this season. An official stoppage here. So we'll have a do-over. Pass deflected. It will stay with Bemidji. They trail by 1. This may not be a headliner matchup like Hopkins-Farmington was a week ago, but sometimes these mid-pack teams, when they square off against each other, it produces some electric results, as we are seeing, especially from the second half on. Princeton ball following the miss from Bemidji. And Lauren Bjurman is fouled. Hildenbrand picks up her 4th. We'll see what Lauren Bjurman can do at the free throw line. The 3-sport athlete. Younger sister of Julia Bjurman, who has 1,300 points to her credit. And Lauren not pleased about that. Especially at later stages of the game, free throws so important. And Bjurman blanks. Those free points, you never know when they can add up. This game has been neck and neck throughout. Neither side leading by more than 8. Riley Jones, count it! A one-handed leaner. Bemidji takes the lead. Riley Jones has struggled completing three-point plays, but this would be a big one with a capital B. And Jones knocks it in. So Riley Jones up to 20, her first 20-point game of the season. Maddie James not giving up yet, scores the layup. Maddie James with 32 points, and we're tied at 72. Timeout, Bemidji. They've been in this situation a couple of times before. And Bemidji had a lot of timeouts available, might as well use them. So, both teams in the double bonus. You have a couple of players with 4 fouls now. Alto and Hofstad for Bemidji. Bjurman and James for Princeton. I'll be curious to see what Princeton does here. Do they keep in Bjurman and James? A big decision for Eric Jacobs and a challenging one for sure. Maddie James has performed well in the second half on both offense and defense, but you don't want to lose her, especially if we get another overtime session. And Bjurman, she has struggled, but still has 13 points. Maddie James, 32 points, 25 since the start of the second half. Riley Jones has 20 points. Hildenbrand, 14. Johnson, 13. Katie Alto with 11. That's a snapshot of how this game has developed. Neither side has led by more than 8, but the free throws have been killer, especially for Bemidji, 7 of 19. Princeton doing better, 14 of 22. If Bemidji makes a few more, we probably don't have overtime, but Bjurman missed a pair, and then Riley Jones with the 3-point play. So Bemidji recapturing some of that momentum in that sense. Tie game. Jones. Kick out. This is Hildenbrand to Jones. Hesitation move. Blocked by James. Who's the foul on? It's on Lupkis. Had that been on James, she was done. We'll watch with you as Riley Jones tries to give Bemidji the lead. Jones splits. But more importantly, Bemidji retakes the lead, 73-72. Now the pressure goes back to Princeton. Maddie James in trouble. Princeton will burn a timeout. Riley Jones, it hasn't been easy, and I'm sure she would like to do a little better at the free throw line, but she is sitting at 21 points. Riley Jones coming up clutch here in the second half and beyond. Jones with the first 20-point game this season. And this is coming off her last game when she played at Hibbing, when scoring 16 points, hitting 6 of 11. So Riley Jones emerging as one of the contributors to look out for Bemidji. Of course, it's hard for us to get up there. Bemidji in the northern part of the state, up past Brainerd, way up in Iron Range territory. Princeton a little bit closer. I was going to say, Princeton, not only do they have some history with Katie Loberg, if you're a racing fan, they have Princeton Speedway, which is a quarter-mile dirt track. I went there many years ago, before Maddie James was born, most likely, and watched some of the local racers in those modified stock cars go around in circles. It's more fun than it sounds. But back to action here, 73-72. Riley Jones splitting at the line to give Bemidji a 1-point lead. Now the pressure is on Princeton. Does Maddie James have another highlight in her basket? Tries the fadeaway, no good. Bemidji got the timeout call in there. Maddie James had a look. Close range. tried the fadeaway. You can't fault her for trying with all the heroics she has offered in this game. So the timeout came before the foul on James, so Maddie will stay in there. But now if you're Princeton, you've got to foul right away to give yourself another chance to win it. But what an effort from both teams. As we said before, this may not be a headline matchup like Hopkins-Farmington or the De La Salle Holy Angels series in Class 3A, but sometimes when you get these mid-pack teams, the sleeper teams that have the pieces, the potential to make something happen, you get some fireworks, and we have tonight. It took a little while to discover that fluidity. The first half was full of turnovers and missed buckets down low especially. The second half is when things really started to pick up. The threes were falling for Maddie James. 6 3-pointers and some big buckets in the second overtime. Maddie James, the future is bright for this sophomore as she records her first 30-point game of the season. And over the last 3 games, let's just say she's averaging a whole lot of points. It's about 25 per game. Princeton forcing the turnover. They get another chance. James to inbound it. Goes to Tennyson in the backcourt, but Princeton, they've got to go. James, deep 3. Just short. Props to Maddie James, and when you come up with heroics like she did in regulation and the first overtime, you're going to have plenty of confidence to take those late game shots, but even Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant didn't make all of their game winners in the pros. So, free throws here for Bemidji. As you can see, they are laying back. They don't care about an offensive rebound here. They don't want to give Princeton any chance for a fast break layup. Taylor Wade at the line. Missing the front end. It will be a one-possession game regardless. Wade gets the back end. 2-point lead for the Lumberjacks. And that's it. Bemidji survives. Despite 2 heroic triples for Maddie James, the Lumberjacks come away with a 74-72 win, and Maddie James can't fault her effort. She gave Princeton a couple of chances for that game winner. They just didn't go in, but they could go in next time. What a game. I don't believe it. Riley Jones leads the Lumberjacks with 21 points. Lindsey Hildenbrand with 14. Jackie Johnson with 13. Katie Alto with 11. 32 points for Maddie James. 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals, 6 3-pointers. Lauren Bjurman with 13 points, 4 rebounds, 6 steals. Those are your notables. We got to go. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching high school girls basketball. Bemidji defeats Princeton 74-72 in double overtime.